All right, I tried telling everybody. I hope people have been listening, paying attention, getting ready, getting prepared. We're getting closer and closer to the start of this purge of the black community, which I've been trying to. I've made two other videos in the past. None of the videos ever get traction. They don't get shared or talked about. Nothing. Which what are you gonna do? But that just means people aren't paying attention and getting prepared, and they're gonna wait till the last minute, like they always do, and then you're gonna be effed. So we're getting closer now, and I say that because now in certain cities where you have a large non-white population, so places like New York City or the outlying boroughs, places like San Francisco, where you do have a lot of white people there, but you have a lot of unwanted non-whites. Places like Chicago, where there are a lot of non-whites living there and taking up space. Wealthy white people, they want their space back. They want to be able to live in these cities again, and they want to get rid of people. They've tried to gentrify these places, but you can't gentrify places because you can't just kick United States citizens who pay taxes and who pay their rent or mortgage or whatever. You can't just throw them on the street. That would turn into a revolt. So they've tried to do it in little subtle ways, but it hasn't worked. When I lived in Brooklyn and they were gentrifying on my block, I would sit there and say, well, there's majority black people live on this block. They're not just going to leave. Where they gonna go? You can bring in as many people as you want and stuff as many white kids from the suburbs into these buildings that are vacant or that are available for rent, but all the other people that are renting and who have been living there for years or who own the property there, they're not just gonna leave. How are you gonna get rid of them? There's people that in my building, the little brownstone that I lived in, there were families that lived there for like 20 years. They're not just gonna up and leave. That's their home. So they haven't been able to really just gentrify people out the way I guess they thought. But they want people out. They're tired of it. So you're starting to see all these little propaganda videos about San Francisco where it's so dangerous and it's so scary and so much crime happening in San Francisco. Soon they're going to do something about that quote unquote crime, and that's going to be getting rid of the people that they deem undesirable. Places like New York is getting flooded with immigrants. The immigrants are starting to attack people. They're making life miserable for people that live there, and that's going to more than likely force people that live there to move. And the government's going to say, "Well, we didn't. It's we're not the ones attacking. We're not harming the people there. Our police officers, our military, they're not hurting citizens. It's these migrants who we were just trying to help. We just dumped them into these people's neighborhoods, and it just didn't go right. Oh well, now send the immigrants back home, and the blacks and Hispanics that lived here, grew up here and lived here, they've moved out. So now we will just take over this property. We'll buy it dirt cheap, and then now we will live in it and raise the property taxes and the rates and the prices." Thank you. Places like Chicago, same thing's happening. They're bringing in immigrants to do the same thing there. But now they've decided to accelerate it by giving immigrants the ability to become police officers. And when I say immigrants, I don't just mean people that migrated here and gained citizenship. I mean they plan on giving the right to become a police officer to non-citizens. Now, you go online and you look into it more because I don't just listen to what people say, I always look into it. And people are complaining because the new law says that non citizens are going to be able to apply for police officer jobs. And then it says, but they must be legally authorized to work and carry a firearm in the country. So that doesn't mean that they're just going to give immigrants the ability to carry guns and to police citizens, but it does because it's it says that they must be legally authorized to work and carry a firearm. They'll just make it legal. All they'll do is make it legal. We now created a new law that it's legal for certain people that we pick to carry guns and to work as police officers in whatever city we say we want them in. And those people who have been living these horrific lives in these other countries who come over here and are desperate to have some sort of peace and normalcy in their own life, they'll do whatever the powers that be tell them to do if they promise them a place to live and money in their pocket and security and safety and prosperity for them and their family. They'll do whatever they want them to do, and that includes attacking, arresting, and killing the people that they tell them to attack, arrest, and kill. And that will more than likely be the people that have always been targeted by the justice system and the police department, black people. And so this purge is ramping up. It is ramping up, and it is ramping up, and people are not paying attention. They're bringing these people in now. Now they're going to start giving them guns, and they're just going to tell them go out and do what we tell you to do. And within these police positions, if you want to get a raise or a promotion, let's say you become a police officer and you're doing it for a few years and you're not getting a substantial raise, what you need to do to get a raise is to make more arrests. Well, they're going to do what police officers around the country have done for decades at this point, to centuries at this point. They will just pick up innocent people, frame them for a crime, and just throw them in jail and just disappear them. People will just be gone, just be thrown in jail. It'll be an innocent person that never committed a crime in their life. They'll just pick them up, lie, and say this was the person, throw them in jail. The white-run justice system will ignore it, and that person will just be thrown in prison. And I give this example all the time because it is one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen. You had this white Hispanic man in Florida, a police captain named Raimundo Atesiano, who did exactly what I just said. Him and the other white Hispanics wanted to make more money for themselves by getting promotions and by moving up. You move up from a police officer to a detective to a captain, and you can move up through the ranks into other positions, but you need to hit certain quotas, and one of the quotas is getting arrests, closing cases. And so these guys, they had a bunch of cold cases, and they said, you know what, we want to make life better for ourselves financially, so we're going to, as police officers, commit criminal acts. We're going to pick up innocent black men off the street, frame them for these crimes, lie, and say that they were the criminals, and we'll just throw them in jail. And they literally did that. They just happened to get caught. Keyword is caught. A lot of this stuff happens all the time now with white police officers and other white Hispanic police officers, and they just don't get caught, so you don't hear about it. These guys happen to get caught. These guys are actual citizens. Imagine what immigrants who aren't citizens, who are desperate to make a better life for themselves, imagine what they'll do once they get the power and the authority to do certain things to us. So I've been trying to tell people, trying to warn people. I don't get any response from people. And I know YouTube tries to block me. Twitter tries to block me. Wherever I put up things, I'm always blocked. I'm always shadow banned. I mean, literally, it's blatant at this point. They just shadow ban me, so that nobody sees what I'm saying. So I know that is a thing, but I do know that I get some views because I can see the amount of views that I get on YouTube and on Twitter. And even out of those views, I get no comments, no questions. I get nobody shares the idea or the concept. Nobody talks about it, and none of that stuff. I get maybe 1-2 comments, and then that's it. Nobody pays attention. Nobody listens. So even out of the small handful of people that actually listen, nobody's spreading the message. This kind of stuff that I do, which I'm going to keep doing, because this is my little part. I don't do anything or do much. I try to do my little part by giving people examples of certain things, trying to rally people, inspire people, maybe, and give them the idea, try to come up with solutions, try to share things that I see that I think are coming to try to warn people. And to me, that's my little part. So I'm going to always keep doing that. But I do all this stuff, and it's kind of like for no reason. It's kind of like a waste of time. And I think a lot of other people in my position try to do the same thing, but they run into the same obstacle. They're blocked, and the people that do interact with their message just view it as entertainment. It's just, oh, this was interesting or entertaining to watch, and that's it. Now let me go about my business. And people are going to keep doing that, and then the next thing you know, the shit that I've said is going to come true. And I don't know. I don't know what people are going to do, but you got to get ready. People, you got to prepare. Like I say in the other Purge videos, if you live in a state where you can, where it's legal for you to purchase weapons or have weapons, buy weapons. Get your hands on some weapons, and every month invest in ammunition. Stock up on ammunition. Where if you live in a place where it's legal, get it done. This purge is coming, and it's creeping up more and more. I obviously don't have a crystal ball. I can't see into the future. So I'm saying what I'm saying based on patterns that I've seen in the past. I like history, so I look at things that have happened historically in the past. I look for those patterns, and when I start to see those patterns, then I start to realize, oh, the shit that happened before is about to happen again. That's what you do. You look at patterns and you look at history. And that's what I've done. And based on all the patterns, yeah, not another Holocaust type event is going to take place soon. That's what I believe. Not on the same level, maybe, not the same exact way, but something similar where people are being targeted. A small group is being targeted and used for a whole host of things, whether that's to let the vast majority of people blow off some steam, let the vast majority of people enrich themselves because the country knows they're going to fall on hard times, or if that's used to just get rid of a group that people don't want because they are hindering any progress that the powers that be want to make. Whatever the reason is, I believe that that's going to happen soon, and all signs, all these little things that we keep seeing are pointing to the fact that black people are being turned into targets. They're turning us into targets for everybody else, including people that don't even live in the damn country. People are coming over here and being fed this information that black people are dangerous, that we're violent. They make it so that, like I said in my other video, they make it so that it's legal for regular citizens to just murder people. Daniel Penny, I don't think has been found guilty of anything yet. And he's still free on bail, right? So until he's put in prison and he's given a real sentence, to me that's just giving him a pass for the murder that he committed. So that's exactly what I said. They're going to give citizens. They're going to not give them the authority to kill us, but random citizens will. You'll start to see things that happen like in Birmingham, Alabama recently, where white people were emboldened to just jump a security guard. Now, the only reason they got in trouble is because the other black people in this area decided to fight back. But the cops and stuff, they probably wouldn't have done jack shit. Nothing would have happened. They probably would have given them a talking to, or maybe arrested them and then let them go. And that would have been used to show the rest of society that, look, if these niggers are getting on your nerves and you want to hit them or kill them, do what you got to do. We'll look the other way. And you're starting to see little things like that, like the Daniel Penny incident, that's kind of giving a wink and a nod to groups, telling them, see, we're not going to do anything to you if you just illegally execute a black person. And then now they're just going to give the legal right to just non-citizens. People probably can't even speak English properly. Are going to be carrying around guns in big, congested cities. So this is my third Purge video. Let's see if it gets any traction. Black people, you got to wake up. You got to do something. You got to arm yourselves if you live in a place where it's legal to arm yourself. But also, like I say in all my other stop shopping videos, you gotta get the message out there to the powers that be that, hey, we're still here and we can hurt you guys by taking away your revenue. As a group, if we collectively get together and we stop shopping in these white stores, that will send a message. And if we talk about that and make that the fact that we're not shopping until we get certain rights and privileges and benefits and concessions, that will, and we talk about that enough online, that will go viral. And people will listen to it. And other people who feel aggrieved, they'll jump on board. So that you just won't have aggrieved black Americans doing it. You'll have people from other groups doing it. You'll have people in white society doing it. People in the Hispanic society doing it. People in the Asian society doing it. Following our lead like they always do. Once that starts to happen, you're going to see a complete 180. Where they're like, you know what, black people are going to need certain things. They're going to need certain rights. And you will start to see that the things that we are asking for and talking about, they start to get more and more attention. So, I don't know, black people, I don't know if you're going to listen or not. Purge video number 3. Put down in the comments if you have any questions. Have a conversation about it and see what people say. Good luck out there.